Good intro so far. I like it so far.
Welcome to the first official episode of Afterword. Today we have our very special guest, Jeff from Jeff's Cave of Cool Books.
This hat is itchy. I don't know why. Plus, it's
I
not
never
mine.
wear hats like this. Of course, zero is about Celsius is about as cold as it gets in Osaka. So
Did it really get down to zero? Did it get freezing?
it did.
there?
Yeah, it was zero last night. It's
Okay.
not now. It's probably about it's showing it's 38 Fahrenheit at the moment right now.
Okay.
So it's not balmy, that's for sure.
You get
But I'll
the
take
cherry
it.
blossoms.
We have five months of disgustingly humid weather here, extended summers and stuff, usually 4 to 5 months of them. So, a little bit cold is okay for me.
Yeah.
I'll be an ignorant American for a second. Do you get the cherry blossoms there in Osaka, or is that not?
We
something
do.
that
Well, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
My hair must be awful. I should probably put the hat back on. But anyway, it's bedhead city for me.
Well,
'cause
to
it's
make
early
you
in the morning.
feel more comfortable, I'll mess my hair up too.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
Now I look like
Talking
the
about
professor that studies werewolves.
There you
Yes.
go.
There's a peanut
Werewolfism.
Yeah, I would have. That's what I would have cast you as, except for I wouldn't want you to be cut out of the picture too soon.
Speaking of the cherry blossom thing, some of my favorite one of my favorite videos was when you was outside.
In the park when I did
Yes,
the.
that was just so, because how often do you get to look at where people live? When we're living in our little, caves of books. It
caves
was.
of cool books.
I thought just for the scenery alone, I thought that video was great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, but I had to be a little more hushed than normal because even though it wasn't particularly crowded, I'm very self-conscious of talking to a camera. I know some of the young kids don't care; they can care less. They're just blah 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 blah. Here I am, but I'm like, young Japanese kids is what I'm talking about. But I'm sure it's true of American kids. But someone's coming, an older guy is coming around walking his dog, and I'm like, hi. and then okay, I can start recording again.
Well,
and I did it once. I try to do that occasionally just because it's nice. I see other channels do it where they get outside a little bit. It's nice to break that.
Yeah. Usually when Tim does it, he gets dragged off into the woods.
Tim?
Yeah. Well, I keep seeing when I see like a thumbnail of you guys outside a bookstore, I'm like, oh, cool, we're gonna follow you guys in the bookstore. But then we're right back into the thing, which is cool. That's the normal channels we all do. But one of these days it'd be fun to see Steve, hunting high and low for the 3 authors he's always looking for. Where's your Howard, Robert E. Howard?
Where's your
Where's
Robert
your Blackwood?
Where's
Out
your
on
Lovecraft?
Blackwood?
Next time we get together, we'll do something like that. The thing is we only get together, in real life a couple times a year. And the last time we got together, I was talking about some ideas we could do, and he's like, or how about we just hang out?
Yeah, because
which
it's so
I
rare,
was fine with too.
Yeah, that I can see that completely. May I ask, do you guys live like an hour away? Are you in the same town? Are you a couple hours away? What's
About 3 hours.
3 hours?
Paul
You're
lives
in the
where we
same
grew up.
state, though?
Same state, in Indiana, which is one of the ones that you fly over when you're going to the East Coast.
States, right? I've been to Illinois and I've been to Wisconsin, but I haven't been to Indiana.
You haven't
been
missed
to
much.
Wisconsin. You've been to Indiana.
Yeah.
So.
You guys eat what they call. That's the first time I used to briefly work. When I was wandering around without finding my best job that I have now. I was working briefly for Snap-on Tools as a corporate rep, which sucked. But we had meetings back in Racine, Wisconsin, and that's the first. I'd go there with all these sales guys, and they could really pack the food away. And that's the first time I ever saw an admiral cut of steak. It was the size of a small pot roast. Admiral cut. And everything was, all the portions were so huge, even by American standards. Is that true in Indiana as well?
I've never seen an admiral cut, but yeah, you can. I mean, we have we have buffets, so that's kind of a thing. We're not afraid to eat.
They have them in Japan too, but the average Japanese person is quite a bit, slimmer than the American equivalent, probably.
I imagine me going to Japan and like I'm like two heads taller than everybody and about 3 shoulders wider. So, there's a giant.
Well, you might have been that way in the recent years because of the increase. I noticed this. There was an article about how the size was increasing in the younger generations because of increasing amount of meat being consumed, beef and such. That you'd be surprised. There's a lot of kids that I teach at college that are dwarfing me, including girls. They're not. Again, the average is still going to be shorter than. Yeah. So you would be.
What do you teach?
I just teach English. English, grammar and writing and the usual thing. Nothing too exciting. But I do like my job a lot because I get a lot of time off. Like right now, I'm on from my main university gig. I'm on a 3-month break. So I have to teach at a things here and there.
You teach at a Japanese university, and you teach English. And this is it as a second language, or is it?
It's there. It's so the main school. I teach at 2 universities, but the main one is called Kansai Gaidai, and it's in North Osaka, and it's famous for being. It's not like a high level school, and it's not low. It's kind of in the middle. There is a ton of universities over here in the big city areas, especially, and its specialty is languages. So it has other things. Okay. In fact, I think they have at the campus they have a mock-up of an inside of an airplane and of a hotel reservation desk. So they are big on hospitality as well. In fact, the JAL, the Japanese Airlines, and ANA, I think it's all Nippon Airways. Yeah. Apparently, 70% of their ground staff and flight attendants come through the university I teach at. So.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
Cool.
So it's only it's not that far on the trains up to my school, and so they have some French teachers there and Spanish teachers, but it's predominantly English and Chinese and Korean and stuff. So I just kind of fell into this gig and
fell into it. When you say fell into it, you weren't looking for an English teacher job or what?
No, I was, but I taught for a year and a half in Korea, so I was kind of nudged. I was teaching Taekwondo back in the States, and my master instructor said, "Hey, I hear you're interested in learning English and you want to go to Japan. Don't go to Japan, go to Korea." And he set me up with kind of a job over there, and I was teaching little kids though, which wasn't what I really wanted to do. Yeah. So when I came back from that, I saw an opening at a company called ECC, one of the big language schools over here, and they got me into this kind of what they called corporate division, where I was teaching at companies and universities, which seemed appealing to me. And through that, I made some contacts here and there and got into the job I'm at now. So it just kind of built. So it wasn't what I leaped on an opportunity when it presented itself, but I wasn't really planning to end up this way. But I've been teaching at the school for 20 years now. Wow. And liking it.
And how long have you lived in Japan? Is it the
21 years? 21 years. Yeah. Okay. 21, I think. Yeah. But my Japanese still is not great. That's the problem of having I have a Japanese wife, but her English is quite good. So and you can get around these days pretty easily without mastering a language. And also that just shows that I'm my lack of skills in anything but English itself. And
Taekwondo too, right? Do you still practice?
I don't know. It's funny. When I went to Korea, in Korea, Taekwondo is kind of a kid's sport like soccer.
Okay.
I mean, everyone knows it. They do. Everyone, because they have mandatory military service there, and everyone has to do. All males have to do 2 years worth, I think, and they're all second-degree black belts when they come out of the military. Wow. So you don't. Let's say you don't want to mess with any Korean guy that you run into. When they have fights, they're actually really decking each other in the real Taekwondo way.
Steve, you just need to stop finding somebody to fight.
That's right, Steve. Quit picking fights. yeah, I kind of stopped doing it then. I did it in the States, I got into it late, but I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I still sometimes practice a little bit, but I don't. I just now walk around and go to the gym and try to keep these aching bones from falling apart at the edges there. So
I'm trying to think of the book. We got to come up with a name for our corner of BookTube so we can stop saying our corner of BookTube. But I'm trying to think of some sort of tournament, right? And Nick likes the boxing, and every time I say, do you box? He's like, I train. I don't really. I wouldn't say I box.
I wouldn't want to take on Nick. I wouldn't want to take on any boxer, man. Those guys are, Taekwondo's designed, for distance, kind of, right? So they have Hapkido and things for more in close fighting, but I didn't do much of that. And I everything I've read and seen is don't mess with the boxer.
Don't mess with the boxers, okay.
When we were kids and I saw him and his brother had boxing gloves, and I'm like, hey, that's cool.
That's
you want to
great.
box? And he's like, you don't want to box me.
Steve's story
he was right.
about being the punching bag for his older brother was great. Yeah.
All right, Nick, you heard it here first. Jeff is a Taekwondo triple, quadruple black belt, some really high level.
Second degree, that's all.
So, the challenge has been laid.
A rusty black belt.
A rusty black belt.
Or maybe we're just putting together a ragtag group of misfits to go on a mission.
We're the BookTube corner of BookTube SOBs. We're the SOBs.
The SOBs. The SO BookTube.
Make sure you pack a lot of ibuprofen on that mission.
So
I'm guessing Tim's a wrestler.
Oh, judo, some sort of judo.
Or Greco-Roman or something.
Wrestler, yeah. Greco-Roman wrestler, yeah. Jake seems like the kind of guy that would be into Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
and
Jake's from what I can tell, is a really
shakes.
Big guy. So Jake's the one who comes in and grabs people and kind of slams their heads together and stuff, So. He's the Mr. T of the group.
I studied Hapkido for a while, and
oh wow, cool.
I made it to red belt, and then we left town, and that was in Chicago, cool. And then we moved here, and there's no Hapkido places here, so that was 20 years ago.
The next step would be black, right? So
yeah, the next step after red is black. But I have the red belt, right? So then my kids when they went to school, they're in grade school. They were in grade school at the time. They're studying karate, right? And they had a day when they're like, invite your parents in to come in and, it'll be fun, a little demonstration kind of thing. And they said, and my kid asked, can my dad wear his uniform? And they're like, sure, my gi, They're like, sure. So I did, but it had been by that point at least 10 years since I had done anything. So I was like out of shape, but I was like, I'll do it for the kid, right? I put it on, I put the red belt on. The instructors are up there, they keep looking at me, right? And like when I first walk in, they're looking at me funny, like they're intimidated, right? And I'm like, why are they intimidated? I'm a red belt, they're black belts, right? And so then we do.
Right. Some systems are red as like
Apparently, I find this out afterwards. They came up to me, and this is kind of how it went. So we do some forms, we do some whatever they're called. I forget what they're called. Yeah, and we do that. And of course, I F it all up, right? I'm not doing anything right, and they come up to me afterwards. They're like, so what art do you study? And I was like, I used to study Hapkido. And they go, okay. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, okay. And they're like, well, when you first came in here, we assumed, red belt's the highest belt in karate. So we thought you were, and we were like, but then we saw you start to do the forms and we knew right away. It was like, come on.
We knew right away that you were a poser.
We knew you were a poser. It's like, where did you get it?
I don't know if you've seen it. There's a movie called Red Belt.
Goodwill now.
It's an excellent movie with Chiwetel Ejiofor. It's hard to say his name, but he's a really fantastic actor. It's David Mamet directed it, I think.
What's the movie called?
It's called Red Belt. I think it's one word, and it's kind of a crime drama. It's really good, and he's a jiu-jitsu champion, I think, or something, and he's the main guy, and it gets kind of a situation. I think Tim Allen is in it as an actor, so that he helped at one stage. It's actually, and it's a serious role though. It's really good. I recommend it, Red Belt. But yeah, that's funny. That's a funny story. Yeah, because it depends on the different art forms. What's the high ranking? In
You know-
Taekwondo, it goes white, yellow. I think it's white, yellow, orange, green, purple, green, blue, purple, brown, red, and then
That-
black.
That's what Hapkido is too. So I think maybe it's because of the
That's a Korean style.
Korean thing. Korean.
Mm.
Why don't they get together on that? I mean, we got
Yeah.
the United
Come on.
Nations and stuff.
Come on, martial arts. Got to get your stuff together.
Yeah,
there,
get your stuff together. Get it organized. You
It's
heard it
too
here
confusing.
first.
I think if I through the osmosis of your channel, I have a feeling Steve's in accounting or engineering or something like that. Something involving technical numbers.
Stand-up comic. I'm the world's funniest accountant, that's how I'm billed when they put the poster up on the thing. They're like funny accounting jokes, nothing but. And I'm huge at the accounting conventions. Like it's me and Grindr are the two most popular things at all the accounting conventions. I'm a consultant. Yeah, so sort of engineering, project management, consulting, and pharmaceuticals and medical device. So
I know sometimes your reading is of the nonfiction,
right, the business stuff.
Specialized variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, the business books and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, this must be kind of fun to be into this stuff to kind of break up some of that. To have talking about
This has
ghosts
been
and
awesome.
werewolves and stuff.
My booktube's the best thing to ever happen to me when it comes to reading, because I wouldn't have considered myself well-read coming out of high school and college. Coming out of high school, I guess I read the stuff everybody reads in high school of Mice and Men. Well, I didn't read of Mice and Men.
Yeah, it
Paul
seems like
read
you
of
have a
Mice
pretty
and
good
Men.
grounding in the classics or contemporary fiction and stuff.
So in my, post-college, I was like, I think I missed out on a lot of stuff that I should have read. So I had a friend with a literature degree, and I said, give me a list. So he gave me a list, and for 2, 3, 4 years, I was just burning my way through that list, right? So I got the classics in, and then I learned what I like. I kind of like some of the Russian stuff. And then Paul, in the meantime, he's like, you never asked me for a list.
Yeah,
Come on,
read some
man.
SOBs and read some Robert E. Howard. And
You asked me for a list. And then, of course, we started this booktube channel, and he's like, here's your list. So now I'm feeling like, where have you been all my life? And Paul's like, it's been right here
Yeah,
all
pretty
your
much.
life.
Well, no,
I've been hammering at the door for years, and you finally let it open a crack.
Yeah, well, I tried doing booktube by myself, and I think I made 3 videos, and I hate talking to myself. And that's why on the other channels that I do, there's other people in the room as well. But so I roped him into it and didn't think he was gonna be as into it as he was, and now he's like, coming up with stuff to do on the show. So
Yeah.
Well, now you guys did a podcast before, is that right?
Oh yeah.
Was that just shooting the shit podcast, or was that about books? Or
That's a good way to describe it. Shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit.
Back in 2014, I saw, I was listening to a few podcasts that I liked, and I was like, this podcasting thing, it might be something someday. And so I wanted to do a podcast. I had no idea what to do it about. So I was like, hey, Paul, we have good chemistry. Let's do a podcast. And the technology then was, we each had to record our own side. I mean, there were tools, but they weren't very good. So we recorded our own side. I would send him my file. And it was just,
That's funny how COVID was such a boon for this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, it's true.
All of a sudden, because it wasn't Zoom like completely. I know you're not using Zoom, but it, the whole market of that corner of the market was kind of struggling, and then after it became such a lifeline during the pandemic, and now it's just so.
Yeah, Zoom came in and ate everybody's lunch. Like Skype never fixed all the things, and Microsoft bought Skype, and it wasn't really all that great. And Zoom comes in,
going the way of the dodo. So,
Oh, yeah.
But there's so many other ones because it can't compete. But I think that's when you mention how good BookTube's been, I've found the same thing. I've got in contact with so many cool people like you guys and all the others in our corner here, and it's been so fun, right? And I've been getting. John or Ishmael from the Robert E. Howard's Foundation has contacted me and sent me emails and is commenting on my just stuff that I wouldn't have ever believed would be coming out of there, right? So
It's
the
definitely the
saving-
most interactive thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
You know, on YouTube or podcasting, it's definitely been the most interactive.
Well, and you guys, what you do together, because many of us are doing it solo, and obviously we do live streams occasionally and stuff, which is really fun. But
Yeah.
you guys I think, are pretty unusual. I noticed there's a few couples doing this and stuff, but and a few. There's the Wheel of Genre. I think it's two of them, but still, I'd say the two or more members of a consistent BookTube channel is fairly rare, and so that. And your guys' lifelong friendship, repartee, and banter, it just made your channel interesting and special from the get-go. So, and your irreverence too, so you're never, you're not taking this material too seriously, obviously, which is fun. So
Yeah, there's too much of that out there already. So
It definitely
I'm
takes
afraid
some.
sometimes I get into too serious things, so I have to try to back off and remember to be. If not funny, which might be a stretch, but at least be a little lighter anyway. With what I'm doing. But I don't know. I'm just kind of winging what I'm doing, and it's working out okay. I'm
Working
doing pretty
great.
well.
yeah, if you act like you know what you're doing, everyone's gonna think you know what you're doing. So you're doing.
Well, the thing that helped was during the pandemic, we didn't have quite the lockdowns you guys did back in the States that we had here. People were still going out, and there wasn't like it was the typical Japanese. The government says, we would like you to do this, and most people would comply. It's reason why there was no looting at all, zero looting when they had the big tsunami disaster years back. Whereas in America, it's such an embarrassing thing to see people running in and stealing TVs in this time, awful time. But they don't.
Yeah.
They just didn't do that in Japan. It's not going to occur to them. It doesn't mean there isn't bad things happening here. Obviously, there are, and Japan has a buttload of problems of its own, but the people still have this kind of sense of, I guess, duty, obligation to society that it makes it a really nice place to live in a lot of ways. But during that time, we were thrown into this Zoom thing where we were doing remote classes to keep, we were lucky enough, like a lot of people in the States really lost their jobs and lost their apartments. It was just really awful. For here, I felt very fortunate. I was able to keep doing, the university covered us for about, I think, a month or so of delay, or 3 weeks or something. And then we did a truncated semester, and we had to learn this. Most of the teachers had never taught an online course. And I recorded, probably 300 videos of me staring at this they brought in these cameras that were like on a tripod, and they had like a big speaker on the side. I don't know if you know these kind of cameras there, but it was like this size, and I put it in the room where the students would be, and I would just start talking to it, and it was awkward at first, but that helped me for my BookTube channel. I wasn't quite as nervous in front of a camera as I know a lot of people might feel at the start.
Yeah,
It's still
you just
weird.
think it's natural for you. I think.
Yeah.
At least you make it look so.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it became so because of me having to talk to the students in the recording, and so that, even though it would have been a couple years since I've done that to when I started my channel, it's still it came back a bit. So it was but I still have to edit the crap out of my videos. I'm always doing what was the name of that thing, and oh shit.
That's just part of the charm of our channel.
Well, I wonder how some people, can. I know you always like to say the everyone's favorite booktuber Michael K. Vaughan, but
Not anymore.
he's obviously from the get-go he was pretty good at just going off the cuff.
I probably ought to say I don't say that anymore. I'm not saying he's not everyone's favorite booktuber, because clearly he is, but I don't say that anymore because it was coming across sarcastic, and I didn't mean for it to be
Coming
sarcastic.
across sarcastic, but I knew you didn't. I'm glad to learn you didn't mean it that way.
I did not mean it that way.
Yeah.
Or someone like Steve Donahue is the type of guy who can just, blather on with no problem whatsoever and doesn't need to, he's a raconteur. But I do like some, the homeliness sometimes of these channels. Like, Michael K. Vaughan always goes, if you notice when his videos start, he always has an intake of breath, and he's always saying, I will see you later. And then you see him touching the phone to kind of turn it off. he could cut that out, but he leaves it in. I think that's kind of sometimes the little warts that are left in there are fun,
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. It gives the videos character.
So
Character
I don't
goes
cut
a
out
long way.
everything. Yeah. Well, I keep hearing out other people, I'm sure you've seen some of these where they say how to do a YouTube channel and all that. Jake's video was better than anyone else.
Yeah, it really was.
But there are other good ones out there that even make their whole channel about how to make YouTube. They're talking about the people who want to make it a living and stuff, or a side hustle. But they always say, authenticity is what people are after, which is why YouTube is, trying to flag complete. How they always say people are hungry for authenticity these days, and that the AI stuff is YouTube's watching it, so it because it's losing viewership when it's on and things. So
yeah,
I think there's an element of truth to that. Yeah, people want real people.
The AI backlash will be, I think, something the problem with the backlash. So it's going to be a good thing, but the problem will be there's billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars being invested in AI right now. And so I think there's going to be another AI bubble, and it's only going to take people realizing it was all vaporware. Not all of it. There's going to be some great, just like the internet when the bubble burst. It's like the entire internet wasn't useless. It's just that there were way too many companies that really didn't have a pathway to cash flow. It's going to be the same with AI, especially when people start to go, wait a minute, I need the human element. Like I now know when I'm reading something that ChatGPT wrote, right? If I wanted to do that, I would just get in my own ChatGPT and get it to write me something, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the effect it's having on teaching, teachers like myself, where students can say, why do I have to learn how to write when I can just tell ChatGPT to do it for me? And they have a point, I'm saying, well, you should know how to write first, but still, if even other creators are using their own language to do this, then it's a worrying thing. But and I don't know about I think some of the thumbnails and some of the intros people make with AI are cool to an extent. If too much of that stuff kind of turns me off. So
definitely.
As cool as it is, but
not to mention they trained those AIs on stolen art.
Yeah.
So, not to mention
stolen everything.
Well, so much of what I like, it makes me sound like a fusty old guy, which I guess I partly am, but I like some modern stuff for sure. I don't want to give that impression that I don't, but the vast majority of what I watch, listen to, and read was from the previous century. And you mean
the 1900s?
Yes. So I think I'm worried that a lot of great art and great, or even, we won't want to call some of what I talk about art, Doc Savage or pulp stuff or whatever, but stuff that humans created and that enjoyed for a long time that is considered passé, I guess, these days. And that's another cool thing about BookTube is that we're in this corner anyway, we're kind of showering some love on some of these perhaps unsung and forgotten authors or artists or such, and that's a good thing, because just because it's on YouTube, maybe some teenage kid's gonna see it and maybe actually latch on to it, so it's all exposure. I was exposed through, you guys remember the local TV stations that in the 70s would show all these old TV shows, and in the 80s all these old movies, Bowery Boys and Johnny Weissmuller Tarzan movies and all this stuff, the Rifleman, all these old shows that I, as a TV kid, I would watch whatever was on TV, and I got exposed to it. And there was a big chunk there where all those side channels were showing, infomercials and other things that kids just didn't have access to that old stuff, and they aren't going to get turned on to it. That's the one good thing about these digital sub channels, is they may actually happen upon one of these old things and find out, hey, they did pretty cool stuff back in the day. Cut me off. I think that's a
great way to end this first official episode of Afterword. Jeff, why don't you tell the folks where they can find you?
Okay, well, I don't have much of an online presence other than YouTube, so my channel is Jeff's Cave of Cool Books, not Cool Cave of Books. Jeff's Cave of Cool Books, and just if you have a chance to check it out, feel free and let me know. I like getting comments from people. I try to respond to every single one of them. So there's a couple that have come through that have made me, kind of raise my eyebrow here or there. But mostly everything's been really great so far. So I'm just waiting for the boom to drop and have some nasty ones. But
Hey,
Well,
engagement is
we have
engagement.
we have a saying: we let the garbage take itself out.
well, I haven't had any garbage yet, so I'm lucky
Okay.
so far. But now that I said that, it's going to start coming in. So
Yeah.
well, it's been a
Probably
lot of
from
fun, guys.
Levi.
It's really fun to chat with you. I'm really thankful you let me come on the show. And
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Yeah, we want to have you on again soon. So
well, that sounds great.
We'll-
And I'll hope to
we'll
have
just
you
come
guys
up with a
if we
new
can ever-
topic.
If we can ever coordinate it, I'll try to have you guys on live with me sometime. That should be
That'd
fun.
be awesome.
Fun topic.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it hard pretending to be the sweetest guy on YouTube?
Well, that's nice of you to say. I don't think I am, I guess, but I try to be friendly anyway. So, but I try to limit my f-bombs and things on my channel. But I'm not. I don't want to take that crown. I'm sure there are other people that are nicer than me out there for sure. But thanks
See,
for saying that.
That's exactly what the sweetest guy on BookTube would say.
And
That's what I
if
would
there
expect.
is, I don't want to meet him.
That's right.